bruised egos. This person said this. This person blocked me. You know what? Take care of your mind. That's the most important thing. Bob Urban, how you doing? Some vitamins right there. The ambassador, Daryl Jones Sr. Good to see you, my friend. Hello from Los Angeles. You know, I've never been to Los Angeles. Dee Dee, always there, everywhere, every day. Dee Dee, there she is. How are you, Dee Dee? You having a good day? You being kind to yourself? It's been a wild day. It's been a fun day. All right, let's see here. All right. He is probably sleeping now. So I just invited Randy. I don't even know Fraser's handle now. That's how crazy it is. People, what are we doing? What are we doing? They sign up. And then they decide they don't want to be part of Happs anymore. Come on. This is so grade 8. Right? This is grade 8 stuff. We don't do this. Ari! My God, Ari. Ari, can you come up for a few minutes? I'd love to see you. I had a great day today, a little crazy. It would be nice to have some soothing sounds of Ari. Party. You're at a party? All right, I'm going to invite you. If you decide to come up, you decide to come up. Okay, Randy is on someone else's scope. Well, that happens. That happens. You know, he's a big star. He's gotta spread his love, right? Can't just keep seeing me all the time. It'd be pretty boring. Yeah. There you are. All right. Perfect. All right, let's invite Hans too. Maybe Hans is home. I doubt it. You never know. There we go. All right. So it was a great day. Word to the sponsor. There you go. Fine.
There we go.
Yes, fine.
There we go.
They're actually in the midst of sending me their latest microphone.
Nice.
Because I do this all the time. As soon as I told them that Ari was part of the broadcast, they went, that was it. Sign us up. The man. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I had a great day.
Good.
Great day. Do you agree with anything that's being said on this thing in the center here? Can you read that? Do you see what it's...
Always come from a place of forgiveness. Try to understand the people in your life. We all feel disrespected. Choose. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I would say probably one of the biggest. There are different stages in my, I'll say there's sort of different phases in my life. And one of the big ones for me was to just sort of forgive people, even if they really justifiably did terrible things to you. Just, understand they all come from a position, and just move on with your own life.
Kim Ryder. Right.
I get it. I love that image. I agree.
Yes. I think we don't do enough forgiving anymore.
I agree with that too.
Right? It's crazy. Okay, let's talk impeachment.
Oh boy. So, like I said, I didn't think there was the case for impeachment, and there wasn't a case for impeachment. I actually think that it sets a really bad precedent, right? I mean, do I think bad things happened? Yes. Do I think there's a lot of things that you could put at Donald Trump's feet? Yes. Do I think that justifies the impeachment in this way? No, partially because, for healing reasons, partially because it creates a terrible precedent. Like I mentioned, I think the last time I was on, where now you have a bunch of people Now you're going to have every president on their way out getting impeached and butt slapped by the guy before.
Okay, so Kim is on the other subject here. She's saying there's not enough forgiveness.
I agree.
You know what
Completely agree.
the hardest part to forgive?
Mhm.
Ourselves. Ourselves.
Yes.
Ourselves are the tough, because we tend to hammer ourselves. At least I do. The stuff that bothers me the most is stuff I did 20 years ago, which I have absolutely no way of fixing now. I can only go
Yeah.
ahead.
No. I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. There was a time, up till fairly recently, to be honest, where I was like falling under the, I was like crushed under the weight of my own, my perception of my own mistakes. Like, how could I have done that? How could I have behaved like that? How could I have done this thing? How could I have said that thing? Why was I so stupid? And, and just, I agree with that completely. That
Mhm.
resonates.
Okay. I want to see if you know who's this person. Who are these two people?
I'm having a hard
Anybody
time.
know who these two people are? They're both very famous people, incredibly famous.
I'm having a hard time with the image at the size that it is here. Let's
Well,
see.
I can help you with that, sir. We have the technology.
Oh boy.
Yes, indeed. Okay, here we go. How about now?
Okay.
Does anybody know who that is? Come on, people. Who
What?
is that?
One of them looks like a beetle. Do I have that right? Am I
It is
warm?
not Donald Trump. No.
Is that John
that's
Lennon? Is
that's
that John
funny.
Lennon?
That is John Lennon, and who
Yeah.
is the super famous man he's feeding? Do you want a clue? Pretty woman walking down the
Roy
street.
Orbison? Really?
Pretty woman.
That's Roy
The
Orbison?
kind I like to meet. Pretty woman. Yes. Absolutely. There he is.
Amazing.
He had no luck with women.
Who? Roy
Roy
Orbison?
Orbison, no luck with
No,
women.
I
No.
didn't know much about him.
No. He married a few beautiful women. That's the way it goes. Have you ever met Colin? Colin's a deep river. He's definitely definitely
Nice.
deeper.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a few of those on here now. Now that we have you, the world is become a new place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, besides me blowing, what up, the yu yang and the yin yang,
Sure.
Okay, so let's get you in here too. Let's do that. All right. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It's a party again.
Mhm.
So, I don't know if this is the growing pains of this application, but
Mhm.
we've got people now because it's only been on for about, really going, I would say, for about 3 months.
Oh,
And now we've got people who've got their feelings hurt and have decided not to be part of it anymore.
on this platform or on your channel? I'm not
On this
understanding.
platform. On this platform. Yeah. Yeah, they've given up. Like Fraser, who has always been my kind of co-host in the morning,
Mhm.
has decided that one individual doesn't like him, so now he's going to quit. And I said, I have 32 people who can't stand me every day. I would never get up because I'm out there. You know that. You spend time with me, right?
Yeah, I know that, Michael.
I'm a distinct flavor. I'm not for everybody.
Well, none of us are, right? Look, you get in a room with 10 people,
Mhm.
guaranteed there'll be one person that doesn't like you. And you could be like, feeding starving children and rescuing babies from rolling rivers, and there will
Yes.
be one person out of those 10 that doesn't like you. And so, I mean, there's a balance there, right? You want to ask yourself,
Yeah.
okay, what did I do? Could I maybe be approaching things differently? Again, having that critical eye on yourself, but at the same time knowing that, look, it's just by the laws of human dynamics, I'm not going to be able to please everyone.
No. No. And as much as we'd like to, right? We
Hmm.
can't. So the person we have to live with is ourselves. Okay, here you go. You're going there again, Michael. We should let that go or he won't
Yeah.
come back. I talked to him today. Randy and I gave him therapy. We
Oh
gave him
wow.
therapy. We slapped him around with a frying pan. It was good. It worked.
Hmm.
But do you remember what Winston Churchill said? When you're going through hell, keep going.
Well, that's the way to get through it, right? You're not.
Helen, Helen, that's so true. Some people they do. They dance in the dark or they dance in the drama.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's again, right? There's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do, and you just need to make sure that. Again, I'm a big fan of. I don't like the way there's this culture, and again, this is where I'm going to kind of push back on what you're saying a little bit here, where you got to forgive yourself. You got to accept that not everyone's going to like you and whatever, and just love yourself. But at the same time, you know what? We need to do more self-reflection on ourselves and be more critical of ourselves. I do think that that's part of it, right? I think there's someone came up with the term, it wasn't me, where they called it, and I don't know why it was attributed to her. They called it the Oprah effect, where
Yes.
people, and again, I may be misquoting, and I apologize. And I have nothing against Oprah; she's fine. But
I can invite her up, and then you guys can
yeah, yeah,
discuss
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You,
Like,
you know,
yada yada. When
yeah,
you just die, when you just
yeah.
die.
Oh, yeah, that'd be that. I would be very
Yeah,
impressed. I want to know where my yeah. I want her to
yeah.
give me a car. No, but in all seriousness, it's you get a car, you get a car, you get it. No, but in all seriousness, it's this effect where people aren't people can't do anything wrong. Like people aren't people can't be critical of themselves anymore. Nothing is their own fault anymore. And I disagree with that as well. You can forgive yourself. You can say, you know what, I am a good person, and this person doesn't like me. Okay. But in the back of your mind, think about, well, what did I do? Could I have done something better there? That's not blaming the victim or blaming this or
Yeah.
whatever. But I mean, there's two sides to everything here, and we can all handle situations better.
There was a guy the other day, and I've talked to him. That this is how weird the world is. I talked to him at the side of the Masonic building one day. So
Mhm.
Randy sends me this video and goes, "This guy is a cross between you and me. He's logical, but he's also spiritual. I want you to see him." And I'm looking at the
Mhm.
guy going, "I've talked to that guy. I know that guy. He's a fashion guy." But what he was on, and this person was calling him a parasite. Person was calling him a psychopath, like everything you should never call someone.
Sure.
And you know what he said? He said,
Mhm.
when you're at this energy here, you're going to have the polar opposite. So we have to dance on both sides of this. So
Mhm.
you do what you have to do, let it play out, and that's great. You have the right to your opinion. That you just keep doing what you got to do. And the person got more and more infuriated because he wasn't reacting.
So, Michael, I have a question for you. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat here, and even I'm having a little fun with it too.
Yes, let's do
I,
it. Let's
I
do it.
don't understand the picture. It was interesting, but I don't understand what the picture has to do with anything here. Is that what
The
we're
John
talking
Lennon
about?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always have to be careful what people feed you, right? Because you don't know
Uh,
what you're being fed.
oh, interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can't always trust what you're being fed. Because one minute you can be a hero, and the next minute you can be a zero. So the only person you should ever really worry about is you.
And that I agree
Be
with.
be the very best version of yourself each and every day. Don't
Mhm.
worry about trying to change everyone else. Just change yourself. Heighten your vibration. Be a person who comes from light and love. And if people accept you, wonderful. If they don't, well, that's great.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
We have a guy named here, Colin. His name is Colin Porter. He is currently a clock. He's timeless. Look at this.
Yeah, stitching time saves life.
He's
Is that what they
timeless.
say?
He's
Hello,
this
Colin.
timepiece right here.
Hey, Colin.
Hey, Colin, how you doing?
How's it going? I'm just reading the comment, and I love it. I just had to say this to somebody the other day. There are three sides to every story.
I
Side
agree.
Yes.
one, side two, and the truth. Love it, love it, love it. But I
It's
don't get what this has got to do with that image of Roy Orbison. Roy Orbison, great guy. He didn't need glasses. Does anybody know that? He
I did
didn't
not know
actually need
that.
glasses.
Did not know that.
Yeah, he got off the plane. He got off the plane. He was wearing his sunglasses, and then he went to an interview or a TV show or something, and somebody said, "Well, where's your glasses?"
Mm-hmm.
You're now known for those glasses. So from that point onwards, he started to wear his glasses. True
Interesting.
story.
Yeah. Well, and
Bit of
here's the
trivia there for
thing.
you guys.
We all look through the world through different glasses, right? You know, like
We do.
I
Different
want
lens,
to
different
tell you something,
filter.
Ari. This is a true story.
Meredith. All my days, you fucking pirate. Meredith Lochran. We need to
All right.
talk very soon.
All right.
Okay.
Watch your mouth, sir. I'm going to start crying here. You frightened me with those words. So yeah. My. Okay. So the other day I was in this beautiful scope, broadcasting scope. It was wonderful. It was the only one I've ever been in, Ari, where it was only women.
Here we go.
There was only women in the comments. And
In
the
the
guy's
comments,
name, his name was Colin Porter. And I said to him, how is it it's only women that comment? It was the strangest thing.
They came in
So
to see you, Michael.
no, my broadcaster sausage fest. That's the problem.
You know they came in to see you. As soon as you left, that's it. They disappeared in droves. They all started to pick their underwear up and they just walked out the room.
We have Tom Jones here. Look at that. That's terrible.
Wow, amazing.
He is amazing. So listen,
It's
what
not
are we
unusual.
doing? Yeah. The green grass at home. I know, relax.
I caught that. I caught that, Colin. Very nice.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Colin, tell them where you're from.
Thank you. Trying to keep us on track. I'm trying to keep us on track here, and I'm thinking to myself, my, Delilah.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why, Delilah?
He's crazy. He's absolutely crazy. So tomorrow, are we still doing the business show tomorrow? What's going on? Are we even doing it? It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have people who want to do it, but I think it's kind of in bad taste in a way. Should I do it Monday? We're all off Monday, right?
Yeah, we're off Monday.
Are you open to doing Monday if we did it Monday?
If you do, Monday, what, 10-ish? I can do Monday. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was thinking get Hans and then we'll get maybe 2 other guests. We might roll and good people in and out, right?
Yeah, sure. Perfect.
Nobody talking about Roy Orbison. Nobody talking about Tom Jones. Nobody talking about Delilah or sunglasses. Just straight ahead Trump. That's it.
That's on Monday. I thought I came in here and there's some kind of 50s or 60s music, something going on, and obviously pleased to meet you, Ari. I meant to mention that earlier on.
Nice to meet you, Colin.
Like with the Roy Orbison thing going on, there's a bit of a music. Yeah, bless you. Nice to meet you too. Nice. So, what is the topic? Is it about the music of the 50s and 60s, or where are we going?
It was originally about forgiveness, how we have to forgive ourselves and others. That was the other. Are you able to read this message on there? Ari, can you read that from where you are, or is that too small again?
I could say, thank you for this divine moment in time. I cherish moments like this when God speaks words of deep reflection.
Yes. When we were talking about Roy Orbison and we were talking about Tom Jones, I really felt deep reflection there. I did. Did you guys know that Tom Jones in the 80s or late 70s, I'm not sure, was making $9 million a year with his TV show? Do you know 9 million then would probably be 90 million now?
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He was quite at the top of his game then. That's impressive.
I had no idea. I read that somewhere and I went, whoa, that's a lot of money in the 70s. Because you could buy a house in Toronto, Ari, in the 70s for
16, 20,000, I'm sure. Something like that. 12,000, huh?
12,000. A nice one for 24.
Yeah, I remember, was it a family member or a friend of the family? They told me a story where it was the 70s and their parents or I don't remember now exactly, they bought a house for like $18,000 and everyone thought they were nuts. Everyone thought they were like bloody, like off their rocker. Like just to give you a sense of the scope of prices and how much they've changed.
Yeah. So Kim, is that your actual picture there? That we're in the here? I don't know. It doesn't seem real to me. My absolute favorite thing people do is they'll have a picture of themselves when they're 18. or 20, and they're currently 64.
Oh,
Will you still
yeah.
need me?
Why?
Will you still?
Why? Really? Yeah. Yeah.
Colin was doing that for a while, No, actually, Colin's never done that.
Yeah, I think this picture looks exactly like Colin.
I've never done that.
Well, my favorite is Captain Rehab, because one day I saw him, and he's actually 30 years old. He's not that guy in the photo at all. Oh, God. So what are some of the subjects that you'd be willing to talk about on Monday? Can you maybe come up with some?
Yeah, we can think of through some topics. Absolutely. I can give it some thoughts, and I'll send an email out to you guys.
Yeah. I know this weekend for Hans is pretty intense. He still may want to do something tomorrow.
Yeah. So, tomorrow I can't. Just because
I know.
my early Sunday mornings are rough. But I mean, if we're going to do a show on Monday, I can definitely do that. That's
I
a much
think
easier
Monday's
day.
perfect because there will be so many people available.
Yeah. It'll be more availability, I think.
Yeah. So I might be able to assemble something tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we'll work on something maybe for Monday, because sometimes we'll do Saturday, Sunday. I just didn't have it. Do you ever have days where you're like, you just can't do the work? You gotta step away.
You know what? I got a bunch of work I need to do.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of work for my day, just for my day job, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it today. Just couldn't crack open the.
Couldn't bring
work.
yourself to it. Yeah.
No, I mean, I have a ton of work, and I need to put some time into it this weekend, but I just couldn't do it today.
Have you been able to spend time outside at all?
Less than I should, to be honest.
It is absolutely crappy out there. I almost killed myself. I walk to the temple every day and check on the boiler and So I went. Yeah. I went to go walk. I almost wiped out 3 times, and I went, no, it's going to be the subway today.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But it was one of those days where you didn't think it was that slippery, but there's ice underneath.
Yeah.
And all it takes is me falling, and we don't have these really in-depth conversations.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm worried about, honestly though, mental health. Is anybody else really worried about mental health? Because I am seeing, even within the nucleus of this family in Happs, I'm not talking about our work. I'm talking about just the normal individuals that I deal with every day here on Happs. There are a lot of people that seem to be having COVID fatigue. Is anybody having COVID fatigue?
Everybody.
How about you?
Yeah.
Everybody, totally, 100% everybody. I mean, Lucy has been trying to bring this whole mental health, well-being thing to the forefront. Because it is being swept under the carpet, but it's affecting so many people in such a massive way. People are struggling so much. We're doing the best we can. But, I was talking to a buddy that I brought onto Happs last night, John Powell. You should meet him sometime, Michael, by the way. He's a great guy. Mindset. Harry might be interested in meeting him too. Published author, etc. But we were saying, people are cooped up in the surroundings. And John broached the topic by saying, it's so hard to get on and get any work done sometimes because we're cooped up in the surroundings that we've made comfortable, and it's very hard to get away from those distractions. And I was saying to John, the flip side of that is sometimes we're cooped up in that environment where, yes, we may have the family pictures on the wall, etc., and it's a place that we're supposed to feel good. But when you've got families that are locked down together in one house, which you've got over here most of the time, with no break from that, some families just cannot cope with being together 24/7. They just can't handle it.
Yeah. So, Con, there's a whole other side there around, yeah. Sorry.
Address it. That's how well we know each other.
Where there were some married couples that made it work for so many years because one was on the road, like 2 weeks out of the month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a better or worse marriage than anyone else, but I mean, it's how they made it work, and that equation is completely messed up. So that's definitely, I can completely agree. And look, I mean, in my house, we had, there was a lot of work to make that all, better, to make that all sort of flow well. And even my, look, I mean, we had some passing in the family as well, not COVID related over the time, and so that just added an extra layer to all of that. And so definitely, I agree that the family strain is tough. The fact that we don't have a distraction, really. Are we it and
Yeah.
what do we mean by that? It's like, I've set up a routine for myself where I wake up, I take a shower at a certain time, I eat breakfast, I eat exactly the same breakfast, I start my work, I sit in the same chair, and I've made everything so rote for myself, as a way to cope.
Mundane.
Yeah, as a way to cope.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not how I normally am.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's
I'm not.
It's Groundhog Day every day, man.
Well, that's exactly it, Michael. And then,
right?
We
don't know what day it is. Here's the thing we haven't addressed at all, and nobody talks about it, and I don't know why they don't talk about it. But this is honestly annihilating the childhoods of kids, especially those that are about to graduate, right? Or those who are excited about going to college or or going to high school,
right?
And now they're doing everything.
Yeah. I have a son in high school, and I have a daughter who's just getting up there in public school, and it's it's really, I really feel bad for them. I mean, my son this coming year will have an opportunity to potentially go for his license, but he can't do that right now at all. So all of that is off the table.
Yeah.
I have I want to plan something for my daughter for, and do a bat mitzvah or something for her next year. I mean, I have no idea what I can plan and can't plan at this point. I mean, everything is completely up in the air with everything. So it's I feel bad for them, right? They're being deprived of something that, you could be, you could have all the money in the world, but if you can't leave your house, like what do you, what do you have?
Hi, Chris and Martin. How are you today? I thought I would invite you up for a minute. How are things?
Well, I'm alive.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God.
The voice of optimism.
Okay. Is there a reason we're looking at the photos on the wall there?
Yes, because I just came out of the shower and
Okay. And
I look like a wet rat.
Okay, no problem.
I'm still to this day very much about, if I don't look a particular way, no one gets a picture of me, no one gets a video of me. I'm one of these that
you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to have it where we can hear you.
Okay.
And okay, that'll make it easier for you.
That's cool.
What we're talking about is COVID fatigue right now.
Yes.
Mental health. So how is yours today?
Not well. It hasn't been, well, it's been on and off a lot for both Martin and I. And what struck a chord is to me going, because I was listening to you guys in the background, and I thought, I can't be on camera, but I want to talk so badly. I wiped out on the ice 2 nights ago and smacked my head and my back. And I mean, I am just in horrible shape. I do have a concussion, and Martin's been running all the errands and everything for me, and it makes me feel even more and more trapped. But for us, it's a difficult thing because during this whole COVID thing, since the first reported cases, we've moved across country, and then we've moved 7 times, and now we're looking at an 8th.
Wow!
And it's just every move adds to the stress. The fact that our industry is mostly down. So we have to keep proving to landlords that we're going to be okay, at least for the next few months.
Can you quickly just explain your industry? Because the average person doesn't know.
My apologies. We are in television and film and live performances. We are special skills actors and prop makers.
Oh, wow.
And we used to get hired, but everything was canceled this year, to go to conventions and teach cosplayers. So that apparently makes us professional cosplayers. But to teach cosplayers how to make their own stuff.
Wow.
Martin and I got together in 1987. You talk about long-time couples. That's 33, almost 34 years come May. So
you've had 3 solid marriages. If you do the average, you've had 3 solid marriages so far.
Well, which is funny that you say that.
And 2 extraordinary. And no, okay, we
Thank you. We renewed our vows twice now, and we're looking at renewing them again this year.
Hmm.
But we decided to renew our vows every 10 years if we're still together, to kind of give a reboot, because you do change
Hmm.
over time,
I agree.
and COVID definitely has locked us into spaces where
Yeah, me too.
we have no choice but to be around each other a lot more than we're used to. And Martin lost his parents at the end of December and in March, just before that first lockdown.
I'm so sorry. My condolences.
So, and thank you. And I'm not good at handling that right now because I've had all this other stuff happen to me. So, you talk about that trapped in feeling. It is, and we're doing the best we can to do broadcasts and to
Mm.
we're going through a lot of our scrap materials. Not everything came back across country, but what did, we're discovering. We're opening boxes that haven't been opened since the first move, almost 2 years ago now, and
Bless you.
we're opening it up, and we're like, what can we make out of that? We don't care where it goes. We don't care if it sells. We don't care if it sits on a
Mm.
shelf. What can we do? Because it just, yeah, you feel
But let's
trapped,
make something, yeah.
and you feel locked, and yeah, I hate shopping with a passion. So I hate it even more now.
Of
People
course.
grumbling at each other and pushing each other in line to get a distance, and I'm looking at them going, you want that person to stand away from you, yet you just touched them. You just literally went towards them and pushed them.
Can I bring something up that's
It's like that
we
short
don't,
fuse, short
another thing
fuse
we don't.
syndrome.
Awesome.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
Colin
I'm
has
saying.
a bit of a.
It's a short fuse. That was it. The short fuse syndrome. We're all getting to that point. I don't want to steer us off target here, but somebody said in the comments there, because we've got to be aware of the comments. Feel bad for the kids. Just very quickly, because I'm going to jump off here. My
Absolutely.
16-year-old, my 15-year-old, my 13-year-old, they're all studying from home, doing the whole virtual learning. My 15-year-old daughter, she blankly refuses to do half the work. But we're living in an age where you've got no real authority over the children. You say, look, you need to do this work, but if they dig their heels in and refuse to do the work, you've got nowhere to go with that.
Yeah.
And the parents are at the point where they're being threatened with fines from the school, because your child is not attending the online thing. So this is part of the whole suffering with the COVID fatigue there, but they're trapped in that environment too, and they're not, as Ari said, not able to go out and break that monotony up, that mundane situation that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was basically it.
But think about just basic things that we, being uncomfortable at school, having crushes, being fascinated with the traffic flow, not wanting to go to school. But now that they don't go to school, they're begging to go to school. So they're missing, like, a part of their childhood is being taken away from them. Or,
it's the environment. They're in a separate environment, like. Yeah, they're not getting to that different environment to go to work, to go to school. It's not breaking their routine up.
Yeah,
the school is designed to be conducive to learning. So they're at the desk, and they know that while they're at the desk in that classroom, they've got the teacher there. Everything in that environment is set up to make sure that the child is in the zone, is there to learn. But at home, when you've got your children trying to lay on their bed and do it, it's not happening.
We should address this too. This gentleman's saying, hard to find a new career. I'm facing it myself, growing pains. And a lot of people are having to reinvent themselves. Now, I don't know how Ari and I got so lucky, but we're in a company that is thriving during this. Our company is never done better.
Hey,
we're 25% up.
Yeah. We went to get some plastics to make the latest pair of fairy wings for character, because we did a Day of the Dead thing online to raise money for monarch butterflies. And having to do that from home instead of being able to go out somewhere was definitely an interesting challenge. But we called up the plastics company we normally get our stuff from and said, these are the sheets we need. And they said, oh, no. And we're like, what do you mean, no? You're like the largest supplier in Toronto. Yeah, we've all sold out completely of exactly what you need for shields and cashier barriers. And so we actually wound up going to Walmart and buying a bunch of really cheap frames that didn't have glass in them. They've got plastic. I don't even know what kind of plastic this is. We had to experiment to get it all to glue together. We made the wings, but the obscure backwards way we had to go about it just to get it done.
Mm.
It was just, it was a challenging one moment. It was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to overcome this. And halfway through the process, you're sitting in the corner crying and going, I had to do what to do what I'm used to doing? Holy crap,
Yeah. Yeah.
seriously? I feel like I'm in school again. I'm in high
Wait,
school
how
again.
come?
Where, you know,
Yeah, it seems like you're either doing phenomenally well or zero. Like
yeah,
it's very much a, you're on that razor's edge, I find, in terms of your industry right now, and it's sad. It's sad. I mean, there's a lawyer, an employment lawyer that lives across the street from me, and we're talking very, very socially distant, and he was telling me that, yeah, like some of his clients spectacular, some of his clients shedding people left, right, and center, and
right.
it is, and there's nobody that's just doing okay. It's either we're
Yeah.
doing, yeah, really terrible, really
Well,
terrible.
in the entertainment industry, we're used to it. Like I was a child reporter at the age of 8, and I'm now 52, so it's been my life, for most of my existence. And I just, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm used to starving for a few months and then being filthy rich for a few months and then starving for a few months. And you got to spread your money out so that you last those few months so that you can, survive the other few months. And it's a very particular lifestyle because it's extremely unpredictable.
Right.
Harold Connell there, aka Chill, is someone I used to do a lot of Star Trek stuff with many, many, many years ago, and he was going to get into camera work. But then, great man to work with, excellent for this industry, but he wanted that stability, so he took a different path. But it's an unpredictable industry, and then you throw COVID in, and it's
Yeah.
just like now it's like 5 guys get hired to build a set to take 2 weeks. They get driven home every day. They get picked up at their place every day, driven to set every day. They have to get tested for COVID every day. They're not allowed to use their own cars. They're not allowed to go shopping. It takes them 2 weeks to build a set, whereas 20 of us would go in and take 2 days to build a set.
Right.
And
It's
now they're not
different.
allowed to. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Martin and I are new back to Toronto. We're not new to the industry, but we're new back to Toronto. So even though we've been around a long time, a lot of the people we worked with back, 18, 20 years ago aren't around. So we're right back at the bottom of the hiring pile.
Right.
So we
Right.
come back for work only to have no work because of an invisible virus.
Yeah, I know. I I'm sorry this has impacted you so badly. Like really genuinely am. Right? Some of
It's
us, it's I have no words,
I
Well,
just,
it's like Frasier. I don't know if you guys know this, but where he is, he's starting to get some work because a lot of the places now have decided that they're ready to go back.
yeah.
So all the businesses are starting to clean the buildings that haven't been cleaned for months.
Wow.
So he is starting to get. He's a professional cleaner, Frasier, and
Like,
he was saying he was to the point where it was really hard to get up in the morning.
yeah.
It was really hard to get motivated to do anything. He felt like he was trapped, and he just kept waiting for a phone call that never came. Where it feels like now, at least where he is, um, it's starting to start up. But for how long? And how many of these
yeah.
restaurants spent thousands of dollars to do all these modifications, and
Yeah.
now we're told, oh, by the way, we've got to close you down again.
Yeah.
There's, yeah, I mean, now we're getting the whole thing around, COVID policy, what we think of it. Does it work? Does it not work? And you know what? It's crummy all
Hey, babe,
around.
Yeah.
how are you?
It's crummy all around. I don't have a good
Good.
answer for it. I do think there is. I am looking at how certain states are handling it in the U.S., where some are, locking down like Ontario is, and some are not. When you look at Florida, you look at Texas, they've taken a different approach. I mean, are they achieving better outcomes overall in terms of financial wellness and overall wellness? I don't know. Like, I mean, that's something worthwhile to look at, because I don't know. I honestly don't know. Let's say, for example, we're starting to slowly come out of this lockdown. What if they want to lock us down again? Right? I mean, when is it enough for people? When are people going to say, F it, I'm now just going to go out now and live my life? Because yeah, go ahead.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm just
please,
so
no,
excited.
don't, go ahead.
I feel so damn trapped. I'm such a sensitive, right? So
Yeah.
for me, like the second they give me the all clear, I swear, I don't care who. I'm getting into one of my costumes, haven't decided which one yet, and I'm going to go running around downtown Toronto and hug everyone. I don't care if they're a stranger or not. I'm just going to freak them all out and say, forget this. We're going to do this. That's how badly I just want to, go out and be alive again. But, it took Martin and I 4 months to realize there are some government grants and some government programs that we could use. And the one we wound up being able to use is putting our business online. And it's taken us so long because we got the approval. Now they've assigned us a web designer to set up a Square store because we already have a Square account from the things we were doing before.
Good.
And it's so creepy though for Martin and I because we're used to a production coming up and saying, I want this, or cosplayers saying, I want you to make this. And you give them a quote based on their budget and their time and everything. And you don't make it until they ask for it. The only things we make out of the blue are things for ourselves. So
Good
we're
move.
now we're finding it's really tough to kind of look at all these materials that we already have, know that we're now going to be running an online store, which is so surreal.
Yeah.
And I don't know what my market wants.
No. So this is a challenge a lot of people face because the way you're doing business now, like you just said, is now completely different. Where, is somebody going to have the same experience looking at a website of, your costumes and your things and the props and whatever you're going to do? Like, how do you entice people to say, you know what, I'm going to put that in my shopping cart and click buy. Right. I mean, where before it was you, people talking with you and you demonstrating the confidence that, yeah, we know what we can do. Here's your 4 options, and build have them feel confident so that they do sign up with you. Now it's a different way of communicating. It's different. Is it better?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ari.
We have to build
Just
before
one-
the sale,
Yeah.
as opposed to building after the sale.
Exactly.
It's weird.
Amen. Yes. Go ahead.
I need you to run the starship for a couple minutes.
Okay.
Can you do that, sir? I'm going to pass you the baton. I will be back no more than 5 minutes. Can you handle it for 5?
I don't know. With all this drunken power, I might blow up the place. We'll have to see. But okay. All right.
Okay. Well, you've got Bob Dylan there, figuring out the next move, so
Yes.
you'll be okay.
All right. Oh, that's Bob Dylan. Okay.
Michael, can you make it a stipulation that I don't get kicked out while he's gone? Put it in place. I could just kick my.
That's it. Just send me money. Send me money. The more money you send me, the longer you can stay. That's it.
I just wanted to add to it a little bit.
Please.
I can relate to what they're saying. I mean, I work with people with mindset, help them through procrastination. I used to go to a lot of business networking groups. Drive out there, actually physically take part in networking groups and manage to pull most of my clients in from there, because a lot of people in business, they struggle with motivation, etc., or various mindset issues. But as luck would have it, I've still got one client on the books that is on a regular basis. So I'm actually keeping the wolves from the door, but struggling to get out there to find more clients relate to it. It's sort of, I'm one of those, you talk about walking down a razor's edge. It's a fine line because I work with people online via Skype, etc.
Right.
But I need the physical interaction to get out there to bring the clients on board. That physical.
Yeah. Go ahead. You please. Go.
That's what I'm missing is, we normally do anywhere between 7 to 20 conventions a year of various shapes and sizes. Like we're used to going into a Comic-Con and getting in front of 2,000 people wearing, costumes of their favorite characters and showing them how to make, this work or that get built and that. And then they always meet you out in the hallway because the 1.5 hour they give you is never enough. So we keep our costumes on all day. We go out and do photo shoots with other groups and fan groups. And we spend hours, like we're exhausted at the end of one of these weekends. We spend hours just interacting with a billion people that we probably will never see again.
Right.
And it's natural for us to get up there and just be in front of like 2 or 4 thousand people and not think twice, or go to a small little local one in the middle of nowhere where it's a small community
Yeah.
and there's 20 kids sitting there hanging on your every word as you're teaching them how to make a Halloween costume.
Uh-huh.
And we don't have that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
we tried to
Yes.
do online classes, and it was
No.
just, it's so cold. You can't see them on the other end. You can't
Yeah.
you can't hear them. They're typing frantically, and
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is a strategy to that, and so part of my day and part of some of the stuff I do on the side is sometimes I'll give workshops, or I'll teach, and I put some stipulations in there to help with this problem, because you're right. There's nothing like having people in the room with you to build the energy and to just the passion and the intellectual sort of flow of ideas. There are ways, and it takes time, and I'm not pretending it's simple, to try to get that online. One thing is to demand people put on their web cameras as politely as you can, but as hard as you can, but demand that they put on their web cameras. Make sure that they mute themselves appropriately and unmute appropriately, and that take advantage of things like shared whiteboards to sort of draw freehand, for example, right? To sort of draw freehand to make it feel like it's a blackboard or a whiteboard. I mean, there are ways of doing it. I'm not pretending that it's easy, but
No,
that's
it's not easy.
no, it's not easy. Certainly not. But I mean, it's there are ways that you can make that work. Definitely, there's a bigger problem there. It's just what you're describing, and Colin, what you're describing as well, is that top of funnel problem, right? When I'm thinking of my sales funnel, and how do I actually, how do I get clients? Where before, you would go to trade shows, or you'd find different ways of just meeting people, networking. Now
Business networking groups. Yeah.
It's just not there anymore, right? And so every industry is going to be a little bit different, and they're going to create their own, go ahead, please.
If Michael will let the camera come back on, I know he's confused about what I'm pointing at, but if Michael can let the camera come back on, this is a good time to actually show you this wall for a real reason.
Michael, row your boat ashore. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hey, Michael.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. How's everyone?
I believe.
Everyone's okay. We're surviving.
Yeah,
Do you believe in love, though? Do you
just saying,
believe? Okay, sorry. I'll be right.
Well, Michael, if you can turn my camera back on, so that they can see this wall, because I wanna point out a point.
Oh,
Michael, you want to
there-
make a point? You want to make a
she
point?
she wants to come online. Yeah. Okay, there we go.
I want to show them this.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's do this
what this
together
is.
then. Come on, let's.
Michael, can you make that bigger? There we go. Perfect.
There you go. Okay.
So this is what I was pointing out when I first came on. This is all fan art. And
That's
these
wonderful.
are all people, and it's not even all of it. There's some pieces that I look at, and I look at the interpretation, and I go, oh God, I'm not putting that on my wall. But I wake up to this every single morning, and I know all these people, and they made all this for Martin and I, and to not see these people in person and be able to hug them at every convention or Renaissance Festival or Pirate Festival, it's just this used to be a beautiful thing for me to look at every morning, and now it's just it's become a reminder that I don't know when I'll see these people ever again.
Oh, you will. Absolutely, you will. Yeah. Did you know that Colin has a wall that's very similar to that? But it's
Michael,
of his
we're in the middle of a serious thing. We're in the middle of a serious thing. Ari was helping you, and you've come on here and totally lowered the tone. We're saying about how business has changed. We haven't got the option to go out there and meet real people to get the clients in.
Oh, you won't even let me have a little fun. You won't even let me have a little fun.
Just
Come
Michael,
on.
so
you're allowed to have a little.
It's a nice wall. It's definitely a nice wall.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be brave, Michael. I'm gonna try to be brave for you. How do I turn this camera around?
I don't know.
I just put a hat over my horrible wet hair.
If I could turn back time.
How do I turn this camera around?
You're on a are you broadcasting from a phone?
iPad.
From an iPad. Yeah, there should be a button to flip.
Yeah, on the screen in the right hand side, it'll tell you to do the corner thing.
I see leave, but I don't want to leave. I like you guys too much.
Well, good. Good. Well, I've heard worse in my life. Trust me.
I can click on Colin. I can click on Michael and see him large. I can. Oh, gentlemen, I think I've screwed myself over.
Well, I think this is a moment to think. What do you think? Well, she figures out what she's doing.
That's an
What will
Yeah,
be his
yeah.
next move? That's what I'm wondering.
Bob Dylan, huh?
Yeah, good old Bob. Yeah, he's so young there. He actually looks a little bit like his son there.
Yeah.
No, gentlemen,
Yeah.
I don't see now that
Yeah.
option.
Well, maybe it wasn't meant to be. So this gentleman here, I'm going to show you right here. Let me see here. You see, right here. How do I do this? I go like this. This gentleman here actually passed me on his bike one day, and I just thought, what a brave man.
Well, hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with professing your faith. I've
What
never
were
had
you-
never
what-
had an issue with that. That's nice.
What what were you doing up there in the first place that he had to pass you? Did he take laxatives? What's going on?
See, here's
yes.
the thing. I couldn't even talk about the wall, and look what he's doing. See,
There
All
we
right.
But
go.
look, those colors are so 80s. That's all I see.
you
It's
know what I
very
love? I
80s.
love that it's neon. I love that he got it made just for him. I think it's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. Yes.
Wow.
I just saw a flicker of light on Ari's thing there. What was that, Ari? Was that the?
Oh, sorry. I'm just moving a window out of the way. I have I have two monitors here, so
Okay, I thought it
Yeah.
was the Palladian overlords coming to get you again. I was just a little worried.
no,
Okay,
no.
you're okay.
Yeah.
So listen, folks, we're coming up to an hour. I always cut them off around an hour. So can everybody just start the process of, you know what I always do? What are you currently grateful for? I know it might be difficult to find things to be grateful for, but Ari and I definitely have a cup that's very full right now. We're so fortunate. And if anything, when I hear these stories, it's eye-opening for me, and makes me realize how minuscule my little problems are, and how blessed I am to live in Canada. And
We are an awesome country. We definitely are an awesome country.
Yeah. Yeah. Even with its, even with the challenges and whatnot, it is still an awesome country. Yeah, wouldn't want to be anywhere else, to be honest.
Right now, no. No, back in the 90s, I wanted to be down in California, and I went down there for a little while, but they sent me back. I couldn't get my sponsorship, and part of me was really upset at that time. And now that all this COVID stuff and everything that's been happening with the experiences up here in my own country, I'm happy I came back,
Yeah, you know what? I had a time too in the late 90s, early 2000s where I really wanted to get myself to, maybe before 2000s, really wanted to get myself to California, really wanted to get myself to Silicon Valley or to the Pacific Northwest in the US, but that just didn't work out for various reasons. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm quite happy where I am. Live a good life. Thank God.
And you see, I wouldn't have this beauty next to me if I didn't come back too.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
That's Hathor. We thought she was a boy when we first got her, and she was very abused and in a very bad state. So we had a lot of nursing back to health with the vet, and she's our shy beauty. But when we went to get her fixed, the vet called me after I dropped her off and said, "Nope, it's a girl." So we changed her name from Thor to Hathor. So
Nice.
she went from one pantheon to the other. But yeah, we've got 3 kitties. I don't know where the other 2 are. But I'll be the first to sign off, Michael, if you'd like.
well, I want you, if you can find something you could feel grateful about, that would be wonderful.
Well, there's the other 2. 1, 2, and 3.
So the cats.
The kitty cats and the hubby who is hiding over there.
Yes, the hubby. Yes, and the nurturing voice of Colin and
Yes.
Ari.
Bless you.
There you go. Ari.
But Michael, if you'd like us to be on any of your cast, let us know, and we'd love to.
I saw you there, and I thought, hey, this is perfect, because it was, you could tell it was going in that direction of people wanting some healing today.
Yeah.
And the other thing we haven't addressed is so many people don't have a significant other right now, and this can be really tough.
It's tough to not. It would be tough to not have them, but it's tough to have them. This is
It's a
both of
double-edged
us
sword.
both of us going through a lot of our own crap at the exact same time is you can't hear them because I got a little headset on, but both of us going through a lot of the same stuff at the same time is really tough because it's hard to be there for each other when you're having a hard time being there for yourself.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
So
Yes.
we're working through it. We haven't killed each other yet, as the joke goes.
Mm.
Um, but check us out tomorrow. Like tomorrow, we were originally going to do the Lord of the Rings thing tomorrow and make it a Valentine's Lord of the Rings. But when I smashed my head, I do have a minor concussion. I'm happy to be conscious, and but there is a cut on the back of my head, and yeah, they don't want me putting on the costume or doing anything like that. Or there's the youngest member of the family. Um,
But it,
but
it, it could take you
yeah,
4 weeks to get over that, if you have or
yeah.
more.
She's given me a list of things to watch for. Um, she said she couldn't do an MRI because I'm not vital enough, and COVID says they can't because the staff is cut down. I was at St. Michael's, so yeah, she said there's a whole bunch of things she would normally do if it was not COVID. So she's given us a list to look forward to, to look at, to keep an eye open for. And I'm getting my naps in like she told me to. I'm being a good sickie. But tomorrow we're going to go put love locks on the love fence at the distillery.
Oh, that's nice. I haven't been
Yeah.
to the distillery in a while. I like it there.
But yeah, they've cut it out in the word love and with a big heart, and they've moved like a sort of like a wire grid onto it. And we've been itching to just go down and put love locks, like one with our name on it.
Oh, that's
So
really nice.
we pulled out one of the old locks from the festival, and I don't know where Martin put it, um, but we pulled out one of the old locks. We used to run a Renaissance festival, and we had a whole bunch of these. We've got two of them left to
Hmm.
keep the front gates locked. So it's a big old clunky style. They're
Oh,
kind of old
nice.
stuff. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
take
see.
some paint to it tonight and paint the back of it with our names, and we're gonna lock it
You,
on
you've got a
the
lot
front
of
door.
space there.
It's only about 700 square feet, unfortunately. It's a
Oh, it
nice place,
seems
but
it seems way big. It's almost like you're in like a warehouse or something.
Yeah.
it used to be late 1800s. This is the original floor.
Hmm.
It was a factory that made milling machines, but the unfortunate thing is it wasn't. This was divided up in 1997, and things like the radiators are on one system. So sometimes it's over hot in here, sometimes it's cold. That's a laser cutter and that's a 3D printer,
Hmm.
and they haven't been able
And
to
that's a
operate.
finger.
That is a finger. Um, they when it gets really cold because they don't turn the rads on, they can't operate. So I've actually had to turn down two jobs because my machines aren't working because I have
It
no
sounds
power.
like the temple, Ari.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Right?
the temple. You know what? It's a beautiful building, but man, environmentally, it's a mess. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
building, but man,
O-
the heating, the
Old,
cooling, and that
old,
is yeah,
old rads. That's
yeah,
what. Yeah. And
yeah.
Well,
and
these rads are meant to go through the building without these
yeah.
walls dividing it. So these are
Ah.
right behind the cat tree is the original rad, and it's just yeah, it's meant to open. It's meant to heat an open place, not a divided up place. And these walls are so thin. We actually, our neighbor on the other side here started bashing on the door when we were having, whoopee. But
Mm.
Martin and I are like, she starts bashing on the wall, and I'm like, seriously, chick, come on. We may be in our 50s, but we got to have some fun.
Mm.
But
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. So
As
yeah,
long as that's not the real reason for the concussion. That's what I'm okay.
no, the concussion was the ice.
Oh, harsh.
The ice from outside the building. He's gone to bleed these rads. He's got this new system
Yeah.
hooked up to these rads. So he's taking the extra water from the radiators and
Oh
putting it through a
no.
pipe onto the parking lot.
So it's a
And
skating rink.
the whole damn thing, including the
Yeah.
sidewalk.
Well, today especially, like you couldn't see because it had a light blanket of snow. So when you're walking over ice, I'm like, there was one point I must have fell close like 5 times, and I went, no, I'm taking.
Oh, my
and
feet
taking the
were
subway.
under me one moment and out the next, and
You're lucky you didn't
my
break your hip.
shoulders. Yeah, my shoulders hit the ground first, and then I tried to straighten myself out, and that's when my lower back and my head hit the ground at the same time. So
Yeah. Well, so you're really lucky you didn't really seriously hurt yourself.
yeah, that's what she said. So
Yeah.
when the doctor said that, I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I'm a
I'm gonna
trans.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
beam you
Yes,
down. Okay.
yes,
All right. All right.
yes.
Okay. There we go.
Dun.
So, Colin, do you want to say something before you say I booted you out? Because in the comments, like you always do, just so.
Yes, I would. I would, Michael. With reference to the conversation that we had a few moments ago with Ari regarding work, etc., and the inability to get out there to do networking, etc., I'd like to apps and to tie that into what you said about not having a significant other.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been an issue up until the lockdown, not having a significant other, because there's people I go see, friends, relations, etc. But with this whole COVID lockdown thing, it hits home more than ever, perhaps because the people
Yeah.
that I've met on here, you guys, the great family, it's awesome. So I'm grateful for Happs because of it's keeping me sane.
Good.
That's,
Yeah. See, I've never been, so I don't know what that's like, but I'm happy for you.
bless you. And now you
Bless
can
you.
boot me out.
But okay.
Colin,
All right.
wonderful to meet you.
Good night.
All the
Take
best.
care. Yeah, pleasure.
Yeah.
All
So
the best, guys.
he will say awful things to me at the side though as soon as I do this.
I'm
By
sure.
the way.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love you, Michael. Yes. Hey,
So.
before I go, yes, let me just send this in the comments. This is a guy you need to meet
Mm-hmm.
if it's going to make the trip. Eric Hypes. Spoke to him earlier on for about half an hour. Very
Yes.
spiritual guy into the whole energy workings. I pointed him your direction, so he's going to add you. But if you can, is that Eric Hypes? So yeah,
Yeah.
if you get to talk to him, yeah.
We'll do
Marvelous. Thanks a lot, guys. You take care.
Thank you. All the best.
Okay.
Colin, thank you.
So it sounds like you did some healing there, sir. You were dealing the healing tree there. Well done. See, there you go. A man of many hats. That's
Just talking to people.
No, but you're
yeah.
good at that. You know, that's the kind of the minister in you, right?
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I've always liked that side of you. I think, and it's nice that you're sharing that here, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're sharing that side with us. So I'm hoping that we'll do something together on Monday. I think we'll have a blast if we can get something together. Tomorrow should be dicey. We'll see.
Yeah, I probably won't be much around just because my mornings on Sunday are pretty rough in general, and especially tomorrow for for other reasons. So
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, Brett. I get it. But thank you for being here tonight.
Oh, this was fun.
Yeah. So what are you currently grateful for?
I'm always grateful for health. I'm always grateful for grateful for my my immediate family being healthy. You know what? I'm grateful for. I wouldn't say I've been lost, but things professionally have been harder. Just in terms of me finding like satisfaction and happiness, and being able to find that in what I've been doing for the past now coming up to a year and a half or so has been really nice, and it's been a nice change. I haven't had this in a little while, so yeah.
Well, we're working for a very exciting company that is somehow thriving through this pandemic. So, but that says a lot for Joel, right? And the way he's directed this. So we've been very blessed that way. And it's affected many of the people that work for him too, because so for those that have not been so fortunate, I think both of us are both very grateful to be where we are in this moment, and the friendships that we've developed through this time, which is great.
Yeah.
Because like you and I have only gotten closer through this, which is great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, so the one thing that I try to do, being grateful for this and acknowledging that I've had some just, good health, and just from a professional perspective, some professional, things are stable, things are good. I'm offering to review anyone's resume, if I can make a connection for them, if I could do something for them, if I could sort of review how their approach is for how they sell themselves. Like, that's something that I'm very happy to help people with in my circles. So, that's how I'm trying to, I don't know, compensate's the wrong word. The word to take my, to take the success, the success I've had and be able to apply it for good. Let's see, what is the saying? Only in darkness can you see the stars. Very true.
Yes.
Very true. I completely agree.
Yeah.
If the it's, there's another saying that, you don't appreciate those good things, if you always have those good things, and so that's what this is kind of saying.
It's the balance, right?
Yeah,
The yin and the yang, the sweet,
Yeah.
the sour. I always consider myself to be the sweet, and I've always considered Colin to be the sour, and that's where I'd like to end it right there.
Perfect.
So Colin, have a lovely evening, and I hope to see you soon, very soon. And thank you for all the healing that you were doing in here. All right, that was very nice of you to do that. And it looks like you've made some new friends, which is even better, because we could all use a few more friends.
I agree there.
All right, take care, everyone.
All the best, everyone. Take care.